can't handle none of this. I'm about to hurt myself. Lost some in a big night. Just a touch of your skin, creeping in the background, blowing on the wind. I'll sleep until morning through a crack inside. I am going nowhere. I am far away. Angels and his demons, many souls to save. So it's safer in the shadows, where fewer eyes can see. Wish I could get away from here, someplace out of reach.
Not that I'm speaking from experience.
Oh, I wish I had unmuted for all of that. That would have been a great start. Uh,
I mean, I can just repeat it, which is that Dragon's Dogma is a game that, like, feels like a piece of shit car where you've had your mechanic assure you it's not going to fall apart, it's not going to break, it's technically functional, but like every time you hit 60, you're sure it's going to fall apart.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
Welcome back to Dragon's Dogma, everybody.
Well, help is maybe a strong word for what I do. Be vaguely annoying in the background while technically useful enough to justify keeping around is more my wheelhouse.
I firmly disagree.
Yes, that's because you're nice and we're friends, and so you're obligated to like me.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, but I have anxiety, so it's how my brain has decided it works.
Hi, Frampus. How dogmatic
Hi,
is the
Frampus.
dragon? I would say the dragon was not actually very dogmatic. In fact,
Uh,
I don't
mhm,
know what the dragon's dogma was.
I do. It's not clear. You would not know.
Okay. Okay, it's night. Yeah, there's this big hole here that we can go into.
The fact that you can fall through the entire world and back up into the sky is so good. It's so fucking good. It's the smartest decision in this fucked up
Oh,
dumbass game.
you cut out for a second,
Ooh,
but yes, this is fun. Here we
it's so good.
go.
Just genius.
It would be cool. I'm
I
sure they
love it
wanted
so much.
to. And I'm
If
sure
you
it's
could
just
use
a
that as
technical
fast
thing.
travel.
Not if you use this fast travel. It's just if it was actually a fully smooth transition. Because there's these little
Yeah.
like loads and cutscenes when you
Yeah,
go in and
there's a
when you
little
leave it.
flash.
Yeah, like I'm sure they wanted to do that, and it was just a technical thing that like they couldn't make it work. Uh,
Yeah, when you consider this game was already a janky mess, and it was trying to run on PS3 before, and it was, if I remember right, a pretty early PS3 game, so they didn't have like full mastery of the architecture.
mm, sure. Consoles.
I mean, yes.
Such a like the more you whenever you read
Mm-hmm.
stuff about like what companies holy just that
So funny.
God
Just splat.
uh like the more
Good day.
if you read anything about what developers do to get things running on consoles within the constraints they're given is just hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's like deeply frustrating, and like how constrained and limited they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of it's a whole complicated thing, right? Because like, well, obviously you're always there's always going to be constraints in terms of your computing and power and resources and whatever,
Sure.
and people are going to push against them. And kind of some of the ways in which they, like there are determinations, decisions being made about where to push those limits, where to spend those resources that can be kind of frustrating. But
Yeah, I'm a person who likes that consoles exist because I like having a thing that just works out of the box is nice, and like
right, well,
the yeah, that's what I was about to get at. As they veer further and further away from that, it gets more and more frustrating to me, and it's just like, well,
yes,
fuck,
I
I'll just
don't
play
really
everything on PC.
know what it feels kind of like, yeah, what's the point of a console anymore? Because they are just PCs and they are to such a degree that they have all these different configurations and stuff, and the games
Yeah,
are clearly not guaranteed to run on them. Uh,
and also like I'll just instead of like the grand it would take for me to get a PS5 and all of the accoutrement, I'll just like get a low-end PC and hot swap parts as I get more money.
Mm-hmm.
Frampa says maybe with PS5 and Xbox X, they can finally breathe easier for a while. And I would like to believe that's the case, but like the history of console generations has shown us that it's not.
Right.
Because like the history of console generations, starting with like the Xbox 360 and the PS3 specifically, because that's when like this structure kind of started, is that they start off and there is a deep unfamiliarity with the architecture because they've been. And so the first games that come out are incredibly ill optimized because they're being built on the old systems and old dev kits, and everything is just like out of date. And then as they get more and more familiar with it, they then try and push the consoles and break things in that way. And then they release a new updated and more expensive version, and then you have to do the same thing again, but just slightly less.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is like, okay, they've added all, it's like, this was kind of my reaction, especially to the stuff with the new consoles about like, oh, there's going to be no loading screens and stuff like this, and it's like,
why?
You put in all this, like, you've added all these additional resources, like, people are just going to use those additional resources because people are fine with loading screens existing. They're just gonna
wait 8 seconds. It's fine.
They're gonna put, and this is kind of, this is the like the thing about like where those resources are spent, because it's like if you took like the graphical fidelity and the technical constraints of a game from like 2005, and you obviously you made it on a current console, it's like you could do that with a very small team and it would run fucking incredible. It'd have absolutely no problems. But you can't do that, or at least I mean, there are indie teams that literally are just doing that.
I mean, yes,
but like because of the way that like if you're a capitalist firm, you're trying to, you can't like your way of standing out. You want something that is measurable, that you can point to, that you can guarantee, and the way to do that is to spend more money, and so you get bigger and bigger teams, because of the concentration of capital allowing that as well. These hundreds person teams on, like the Assassin's Creed games and stuff, Call of Duty, whatever, those kind of, like, these games become referred to occasionally as like quadruple A because the budgets have gone up so much and the team size has gone up so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, all that kind of stuff's just, that stuff is frustrating. And I mean, the the quote from Jordan Mallory that has somehow become like a banner for this, of like, I want worse looking games made by like people
for less money,
or people
more
getting
money.
paid more, working less hours, fewer hours, or whatever it is.
And just unironically, yes,
games.
that is what
I mean, that's like, it was an unironic statement. It was, but it's kind of become like a thing that.
Yeah. Well,
what's up?
It's.
Oh, you're a.
Yeah, they're just a pawn.
You're a fucking huge pawn.
Yeah, no, they're Brolic.
Then I bid you farewell.
What level am I?
40 something, I think.
Level 43.
43, yeah.
Okay, I guess they're not that much higher than me. But,
10 levels is a lot.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I've seen anyone that high.
No.
Okay.
But yeah,
what's in here?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It's a weird door. Oh, the Chamber of Confusion. That sounds terrible.
I don't know why you think a thing that promotes confusion in this game that is made of not even duct tape. It's made of like bubblegum and spit.
It's
like
not even
holding
duct
it
tape.
together.
It's just, I've played D&D. I know what confusion as a
Yeah.
effect generally implies in RPGs like this. It's not something I
Not bad.
particularly find fun.
No, it's not good.
Calls to mind like the final boss of Beyond Good and Evil.
Never touched Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil's great. The final boss is just terrible. The final boss you have
Leave
the
you.
entire.
I just don't like adventure games.
Oh well, you know. Yeah, I mean it is basically like a Zelda game or something, but it's a lot cuter than a Zelda game. Also, it's about the Iraq War.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. It's very blatant. It's
Imagine
very
if
much
Zelda
a
was
game
about the
from that
Iraq War.
time. With the final boss of Beyond Good and Evil, you play is like, oh, they're doing a like, I don't know, confuse mind effect on you or something, and so the entire final boss fight is played with inverted controls.
Well,
And it literally like took me hours when I first played it as a kid. I was like I pretty much breezed through the rest of the game, and I was like, this is so hard. Like, fuck off.
what if all of your practice and skill development didn't matter, and in fact actively hurt you?
Yeah.
There are those
God,
among the pawns that
fucking talk about games that are about the Iraq War just reminded me of Spec Ops: The Line, and how every conversation around that game drives me up a wall.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, my issues with the discussion around Spec Ops: The Line isn't even about the game Spec Ops: The Line. It's that, like, people's willingness to, or, like, critical literacy is, like,
Right.
surface deep 90% of the time, and, like, goes so far as, it's about video games, or it's about the Iraq War, and not, like,
Right.
hey, it's about the way video games and our narratives in general are complicit in the violence that participates in the Iraq War, and in the war,
This is gonna
in
be a
war
maze.
as a whole. I legitimately don't remember. And like, you know, I don't even think Spec Ops: The Line
it's a
is like
beholder.
particularly good. Oh yeah, it is. I forgot about that.
Hey. Okay, yeah, I was like, this thing's gonna attack us, right?
Yes.
Sure, it isn't yet, but now it is, as soon as I started casting spells.
And it does use magic, so watch you take no damage. Yeah, did you see how you took no damage? It stacks up to 4 times, but each stack has like a 90-second limit.
Yeah.
So 3 is the practical limit.
Gotcha. I forgot what my spells were. Did I just get like... Okay.
And you just took no damage.
Oh, hi!
Yes, it can do that.
Oh, that's fine.
This is the thing that I believe was attacking you underneath the like in the pawn skill when the tentacles were coming out the ground.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Those tentacles get a lot longer, huh?
You were silenced.
I am silenced. That's bad.
You probably want to use a light cure.
Let's see here. Yep.
Yeah, light cure should get rid of it for you. This is around the point of the game when they're like, okay, fine, status effects actually matter. We're gonna actually throw them at you.
Oh, hi!
Hello.
Yep. Hello. What, okay, I'm very confused as to... So it still has tentacles shooting out of the ground, which are not coming from it.
Don't worry about it.
Is it healing somehow? Or are we just not dealing how much damage to it?
You're not dealing very much damage to it. It is a rough fight. I'm looking up what it's weak to right now. Okay, yeah, Holy is the, like, most damage you could deal to it. Everything else is going to do garbo to your
Oh, now
damage.
we're doing... Somebody's doing damage. I think I just need to put my magic balance.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yep, that was it. You just needed Magic Rebalancer back on because Magic Archer is fucking stupid. Why did they give this class a fucking multiplicative button? Like, for basically free.
God, there's so few targets left. I guess I'm gonna start using 6-volt bolts.
I love 6-volt bolts so much. It's my favorite ability in the whole game.
100-volt has been...
Ascension is probably a better choice, actually.
Oh, right. That's,
Or when it's laying down, at least.
Yeah.
because that is holy target.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
god!
Oh, you've never really used Sentient after using Magic Rebalancer, huh? Also, every single like little one of those flashes, that was you getting healed. Because that is Holy's status effect. It heals you.
Right.
And because Sentient
Yeah.
hits so many times, it heals you a shit ton. Or I believe it's proportional to damage.
That ate through like 2 health
Mhm.
bars at least with one attack.
So part of the reason it did so much damage was because it was knocked down, and that makes your damage significantly higher. Because its defenses are reduced.
But
But because of because of the way HP and stuff is or defense and stuff is calculated, like multi hits like that when they're knocked down will just fucking detonate them.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, you got 2 of the 20 wake stones you need. And that's why I was like, yeah, 20 wake stones is not the chore it sounds like, because you do fights like this and you just get 2.
Sure.
I believe there is a chest in here. Let me look.
There's boxes. There's
Mm.
other stuff on the ground.
Okay. Past, like opposite the end you came in, should be a door that has a chest. In that little alcove.
Oh, not that one.
To the right of that, I believe, yeah.
This one looks closed too.
Is there not a... I thought there was a lever.
There might be something. It's entirely possible. Okay, that looks like there's a door over there. I think there's 4 doors.
Okay, one of them is supposed to have a chest, I believe.
Oh no, this is not a door. It looks like it should be a door.
It did. Well, maybe I'm wrong. It's not, like, anything super incredibly valuable.
I mean, let's see here. I can go look at... Yeah, there's definitely stuff over here. There's just currently no way through it. So I don't know.
Okay. It's back in the other room. I apologize. I was giving you incorrect directions.
So I go back into the
Yeah, you go back out the other way.
Chamber of Confusion.
And that's what a lot of the Everfall looks like. I believe there's a chest. Yeah, there's the open chest to your left,
Oh,
behind you.
well, they got something.
Or, sorry, the unopened chest, rather.
Yeah, the pawn's open.
It looks like they picked it up for you.
Yeah. Alright, what'd you guys get? Picked it up.
I believe there's some decent items in there. Some new boots, some
Yeah.
bracers.
Nope, that's your regular stuff. There.
Some more armor for Sebastian if you wanted to kit him out. Yeah.
Just shot the boots.
Tis not defeat to flee from
Okay,
power.
maybe I was wrong.
Tis survival.
Oh, it might be. It's just a random item,
Oh, sure. That's
and that's just a list of the drop list.
Oops. This. Those are some boots.
Yeah,
What are my current boots? I guess they're
like
just...
fine, but they're not quite the thigh-high thought boots that the other ones are.
What are they? Oh, it's replacing this this thing.
Yeah, it's replacing your skirt.
And boots. did this. I wanted to make sure this didn't have like plus magic on it or anything.
No.
It
Those
does.
boots are actually pretty good.
It has +8.
Oh, does it? No,
Yeah.
never mind.
+8 magic, +8 strength.
I mean, yeah. That +8 is effectively a +16 because Magic Balancer exists.
Hello.
And I would talk to them.
Hello.
Well, I did talk to them before,
Have
but I guess
you
they might have
aspirations? I never learned
Oh.
the meaning that word holds. And now,
What? Okay. Well, didn't have more
I
to
lost
say.
my master. I cannot even. Were it not for that beast.
Oh, they
that
just
Forgot.
have,
They're pawns, and so they have the little red "I have something to say" thing above their head.
dissent was this.
yeah, these are like,
Yeah, they're pawns, and they just never came out of this state because their master died. Ah, that's a neat little touch.
yeah.
My kind are nomads, who belong to no world, and to all.
Sure. Oh. I was like, can I push someone off? Can I push
No.
someone off?
Oh, well, I mean, you might be able to grab and throw.
Like, you know, I didn't think about that. I'm coming! Oh, you hit something.
You landed.
Whoops! I missed you.
The Everfall is so fucking funny, dude.
Let's see. God.
So if you, like, drift close to it and hit grab as you fall past the ledge, you'll grab on the edge of the ledge and won't have to fucking pancake yourself on the ground. However, it is way funnier to pancake yourself on the ground.
Yeah. I think we need the splat.
It is way funnier with the splat.
I don't know where this is. The Chamber of Hesitation. Okay, this is different. It's hard to tell if it's a different place or not.
Yeah, the Everfall is not as fleshed out necessarily as the rest of the world. I like it, but it is like very much a narrative and world light post game.
Sure.
It mostly is just very fun to fall throughout the whole world.
Yeah. Salome's secret? Alright.
Salome is the dude I believe you fought earlier. The one who had the wizard ring.
The fabled archmage.
Mhm.
To boost magic. Okay. The power to split the earth itself. Let's not do that.
Why not?
That sounds like
Seems good.
what I did before.
Oh, when you accidentally summoned a fucking fireball on someone's head?
It was a meteor storm. It was definitely worse than a fireball.
That's true. It was worse. I will give you that. It was worse.
Oh, hey, buddy. Wow. Okay, I might actually... Kind of thought we would just kill this guy.
Well, so your auto attacks are gonna be pretty bad. You're using a dagger whose physical attack stat is pretty low, and your physical attack stat is also pretty low.
Doesn't it do magic damage though?
It does physical damage that is ice element.
Oh,
Like the damage is based off of strength, but it is ice elemental.
that's... Okay, that's not what I expected that to work.
Nope. Yep, it's confusing and kind of frustrating.
I thought your elemental damage would be based on your magic stat, and the physical damage would be based on your strength.
I do not believe that is the case, no. I would have to actually, let me double check and make sure I'm not just telling you lies.
I mean, that would make sense based on, you know, the amount of damage that I'm seeing versus the amount of damage when I actually use an arrow.
Mhm.
Although I guess I have to like compare it to. Oh fuck! Punch me.
Okay, I might be wrong.
My basic attacks might just kind of suck.
I mean, yes, your basic attacks also kind of suck. Oh.
My arrow doesn't really do much damage either.
Okay, so physical attack. Oh, part of it is physical attacks with enchanted weapons. Only the magic of the weapon matters, not your core magic.
Oh. Okay, so it just
So
doesn't.
that is probably also hurting. So yeah, it does not. Basic attacks are kind of garbage.
Yeah, so it doesn't use your magic stat.
No, it doesn't use your magic stat. It uses the weapons, and that's why Magic Rebalancer wasn't affecting it.
Huh.
I'll take that.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Ooh, strong wearish.
Yep.
So we've got all these various kinds of like mild green wearish, potent green wearish. Now we just have strong wearish.
And now you got that dank shit.
Not strong green wearish, just strong wearish.
That's how strong it is. It's so strong that it overtook green.
Apparently. Oh look, strong, a rare and quite potent herb. Preparing tisanes. Tisanes?
I think it's Tisane.
Consuming it to recover a great
That-
deal
that's
of
a-
health. Great.
It's one of those words that I've only ever read and never seen. It's a kind of herbal tea, if I remember.
Oh, okay. Not familiar with it at all. I was like, this looks like a fantasy word.
More midwife word than fantasy word, which means it became a fantasy word.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. It's an herbal infusion or similar preparation drunk as a beverage for its mildly medicinal effect. So yeah, herbal tea. The core thing that defines tisane versus a true tea is that they do not naturally contain caffeine.
Okay.
Hey, Alvec. I mean, also, like, it's fake. Like, it's like saying, is a hot dog a sandwich? It's like, do we call it a sandwich? Then no, it's not a sandwich. Categorization is inherently arbitrary, because, like, they don't actually exist.
Well, that's what is socially useful.
Yeah, exactly. Like, schemas are inherently socially crafted, and if we don't call something something, then it's probably not something.
Slow back.
Does tea actually come from a tea bush? I don't actually know. I don't know anything about tea. I know it comes from leaves.
There is like a tea plant.
Everyone, be healed.
So presumably herbal tea is not using the tea plant because it's using a different herb.
Okay. It sounds like champagne that's not made in Champagne, France is actually just sparkling.
I mean, in this
Bullshit
case,
to me.
it's actually different because they're different materials. But yeah.
Sure, but listen, anybody who drinks wine will tell you, oh no, they're actually different with regards to champagne and sparkling wine too. They'll tell you. Okay, that's neat. I didn't know that.
Strike the tail. We need but sever the tail.
Strength in numbers arisen.
Tea is one of
Camellia,
those things that I've-
is that the tea plant?
I'm assuming that's the
Yeah. I don't. It's more akin to is
yeah,
sake wine. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you're right. I'm just being a shit. Like you are correct in that there is a like distinct and real difference between tea and herbal tea. I mostly just felt like bullying the people who insist to me that champagne and sparkling wine are different.
I need Fiona here so we can talk about iced tea.
And on Hydra must.
Hydra looks beyond.
Hydra!
Is it that it's good?
Please tell that
Elvac,
to
I
Fiona.
would love to hear your
Please
spicy
tell
beverage
that to
opinion.
Fiona.
Oh, is Fiona gonna get so mad at me?
It will be very funny. Let's go
Oh,
fight
I-
a Hydra?
Yeah, it's a Hydra. I don't have like issues with like the distinction between. Okay, let me give you my actual opinion on the difference between champagne and sparkling wine, which is that yes, I think there is actually a noticeable difference in that regionality, especially in wines, is like actually a noticeable thing because of like the material conditions the wine is produced under. However, I think that people, especially in the U.S., with regards to wine and with regards to champagne specifically, are deeply fixated on that distinction in such a way where it denigrates sparkling. Like whenever somebody says, "Oh, it's champagne, not sparkling wine," there is an implicit denigration of sparkling wine in general, which is very frustrating and is this weird classist structure. But I think that the EU regulations determining that like various cheeses have to be actually from a place to be called that kind of cheese, or champagne can only be called champagne if it's from Champagne, are valuable and useful, especially for those specific places. Also, you're going to do way more damage if you use Sunflare. It takes like 60% from fire and 30% from like all other.
Okay.
Also, I think if you target it in the body of the, like where all of those heads are, you'll hit it multiple times with the explosion. I would do that, or use Senshin, because Senshin will just hit it multiple times, and it'll be stupid.
Yeah, I tried Senshin once. It took me a while to get it off.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to. Sunflare might be better.
Okay, let's use Senshin quick just to kill these guys.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Senshin is best for, of just saying, no, I don't want to deal with undead. They're very annoying.
No, pick him up! God! I don't know why it's so hard.
Correct. And Bubbles is good.
My
Okay, yeah, that's some
opinion on
noticeable
all this
damage.
is I don't drink. So...
Yeah. Elvac, we never got to your spicy beverage opinions, though. Is it that you think spicy drinks are...
It's, bubbles are good.
That's fair.
I don't know if that doesn't seem like a spicy opinion.
I think so. It's a good opinion. Bubbles are good.
Spicy opinions don't have to be bad. I mean, I hope they're not bad.
A core part of spicy opinions is that they are not necessarily bad, but are disputed.
Well, that's true. Sorry.
Wow, PBR as a fantastic beer is a spicy opinion. My only contention with it is no beer is a fantastic beer. But that's mainly just I don't like beer. And wow, the kombucha one is that's a bold take. Wow. Elvac says kombucha is perhaps better than soda, which I've drank kombucha, and I don't think that that's true.
Ow. Let's just get run over.
I do sometimes just get run over. That's true. One of your dudes is dead.
Yeah, I think you got run over.
I did ask for spicy. I brought this upon myself.
Just heal you. I guess that you should heal. You're right, that was very funny.
That fucking anti-air. It might be worth reapplying Magic Balancer and seeing if something like Sixfold will do more.
I mean, I was using it before. I don't think it was doing that.
Is it doing pretty bad?
Yeah, I think
Because
this is doing
at least
okay.
chunking pretty decently.
Yeah.
You at least see the health bar go down.
Yes, that's... Ow.
when it just swats you out the fucking sky. It's so good. Just fucking slap.
It has a lot of HP.
It does have a lot of HP. That was why I was saying it might be worth going to see some of Dark Arisen, just because, like, you're kind of low level right now.
Ow, don't punch me.
See why not? Punching's good, actually.
Fair. It's very hard to tell, you know, where I'm supposed to be at. 'Cause obviously, the beholder we just fucking destroy.
Yeah, I mean, the Everfall is weird because there are some enemies like this where they've got fucking, what, 10 health bars? And then some enemies like the Beholder, which are less of a slog.
Yeah. I mean, it had
the
like...
Beholder... What's that?
The beholder had like 5 or 6 or something, but it just...
So I mean, the thing you didn't see is that the Beholder just fucking bodies you if you're, like, not playing someone who has fucking quadrupled magic resistance and has to try and get close to it. Like, if you are playing, like, a warrior,
Sure.
The Beholder is a much harder fight.
That makes sense. I mean, that's a very beholder. Also, what did they call it? I didn't see...
Evil Eye.
Oh, they just call it the evil eye. Okay. I was like... 'cause...
Legally distinct, I believe is what they call it. You might also want to run to your blue friend, because they are dying.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, it's a funny thing to me about, but, like, so beholders are D&D product identity.
Yep. Same with Mind Flayers, I believe, right?
Yes, Mind Flayers, Githyanki, Githzerai, Rust Monsters, Displacer Beasts,
Oh, I forgot about Rust Monsters and Displacer Beasts.
Letsar. Basically,
Really?
the monsters that are based on the random, like, fake dinosaur toys that Gary Gyjax got a grab bag of and used them as miniatures, which is where, like, the Rust Monster and the Displacer Beast and the D-Light come from. Those are all, like, product identities. They're original monsters.
Yeah, that's inspired the Tarrasque too, wasn't it?
Yes, the Tarrasque also, that's right, yep.
I love the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque rules because it's just the DM's tool to be like, you won't win. Please stop fighting this. It's not gonna work.
It's very funny because it's like, it starts off as that, and then it gets, like, it goes into, like, 3rd edition, and it's like,
It's very killable in 3rd edition.
Yeah, this is the ultimate boss monster. This is the, like, level 30 monster in a game where you go to level 20, and it has a thing with no ranged attacks and no ability to fly.
No ability to fly. It has no resistance to things like Cloud Kill Death outside of innate magic resistance, I think.
I think it's immune to death effects, so you can't just, like, kill it with,
Sure,
like,
but
a
you
save.
You could, like,
but yes.
shoot poison at it and
Right,
shit until it
yeah,
dies.
I mean, that's, yes. Like, if you're 20th level and you're facing the Tarrasque in 3rd edition, you just have overland flight that's, like, permanent flight on, and you just shoot things at it from a distance. And it's just a matter of how long it takes you to kill it. It's very funny.
I mean, if you're 20th level in 3rd edition, you literally can't die unless the GM is willing to throw God at you.
Right, the game does not know, like, no one, like, the game is basically not playtested above, like, 12th level-ish. Like, nobody knows
You can get
what
up to 15.
do. Yeah,
You're probably going to want to chug a couple.
it's very funny. But yeah, so then in, like, 4th edition, I think is where they come up with the idea of, like, the Tarrasque is like basically like an elemental earth creature or something, so it has a gravity field that it pulls anyone nearby,
tight.
which is
I
it's a
forgot
good
about the gravity
solution to,
field.
like, we don't want to give it a ranged attack, but we have to have a way to deal with, like, people that are ranged and especially flying. So, like, yeah, you just get pulled towards it. Also, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, you got stuck in the hold between the neck.
I see that. The game got very confused. I don't.
It might be
you know
worth
what?
just like fairy stoning away.
Yeah, this is gonna take forever. I'm just like, God, where are we gonna go? Yes.
Go to Casardis, yeah.
I feel like we might want to go get some more health potions before we leave, but
You can if you wanna. You've still got like 20. You gave a bunch to all of your pawns too, so like
I
you
feel
can just
like
take them off the
they have
pawns if
used
you need them.
them. Yes.
They might have. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
they did.
used all
Okay.
of them. That's what I was thinking, because they weren't really healing much.
Mm-hmm.
It's your hometown, is it not,
Yeah.
Raisin?
Yeah, this would be a much harder game if you didn't have infinite health potions.
Yeah, also infinite teleports.
Yeah, uh-huh. So this would be a much worse game. Good thing they didn't release a version of the game that was like that.
You seem tired, cousin. Come rest a moment. So be it.
Like, phew, right? That version of the game would just be like deeply unpleasant and almost unplayable, in fact.
It'd be something. I'm
Mhm.
kind of vaguely curious about it, because it'd be like,
No.
you'd
Mm-mm.
have to like plan all your. I mean,
You
it would
sure would.
suck to do it the first time because you wouldn't know where you're going. But I could see the kind of thing if you have more information about where you actually have to go and what is in all these places about like planning your routes and stuff. I mean, the same thing about games without fast travel.
Here's the thing. If I played that version first, I would never shut the fuck up about how good that first version was. I would be pissed about this version of the game. I would hate it. Because I'm also the person that's like, yeah, Morrowind's fast travel system fucking rules. It's incredible. I love
Yep.
it. I'm the person who fucking loves it. So if I had played that version first, I would never shut the fuck up. But I didn't. And so I don't have my eyes blinded by the fact that that sucks ass.
Uh-huh.
Liquid Vim also is very, very good if you knock the boss down and you just kind of want to go apeshit, because it just gives you infinite stamina for a little bit.
Don't you just want to go ape shit?
I do, actually, sometimes. Yeah, it's true.
Also, we probably need to replace these people, so I'll just take all this stuff.
Yeah, they're probably pretty low. What I would also say is you probably want to grab more light cures to have on you. Now that status effects are becoming realer.
As you will.
Oops. Oh, not done yet.
As you will. What can I do? Take care now.
Oh, right.
Did you buy more empty bottles?
No, I was trying to remember where to do that.
You can do that back in Grand Serim at the apothecary.
The apothecary's still there?
Yes, apothecary's still there. The one that's not there is the inn.
Mm.
But you did hit rank 9, so it's worth going to the inn. Well, who is right behind the apothecary. The innkeeper is relocated behind the apothecary.
Oh.
That is the armory. But it's worth
Yeah.
checking also to see if you can upgrade anything.
Yep. Like this one just has question mark? Hmm.
Yeah, so anything you haven't encountered that item for would be a question mark.
It's fair.
It'd be worth looking at the exotic high boots too. Or just seeing what it takes to upgrade them.
Evil
yeah.
eyeballs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think you only
purple.
have 1 or 2 evil eyeballs. which ironically comes from the evil eye.
Hmm. Those are upgraded.
Master, come again.
Masterworks all.
Make us bring us. Take all the time.
No. Wait.
What?
Take all the time. Do come again.
Where's the inn?
I believe he is back behind the apothecary. Yes, over here. Yeah, that's him.
Seen this? Tis proof. I'm sure you'll find all you need
Oh.
anytime.
Oh no, that's
That's the
the
forger.
cat person.
Yeah. The mountebank. I didn't actually go behind the apothecary. But I don't know where behind the apothecary would be.
Maybe up a little bit.
Where the hell are you?
Hello.
It's a pawn.
Can I help you? Can I bid you?
It looks like a child!
I know. I would try going the other way behind the apothecary, I think.
I'm like, what is this child in armor and with weapons? Like, what are you doing here?
Or maybe not. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna actually look it up.
So,
Where is Solemn? Oh, he's at the Pawn Guild. That's right.
Oh, of course he is. Sorry, buddy. If I could knock a guard off, I probably should
you could.
grab and throw a guard.
No, it might start them to try and fight you. It would be funny, though.
Oh, yeah, here he is. Hey, buddy.
Take a look at them. Here we can make. Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
Uh-huh.
Alright, you have an absurd amount of empty flasks. That's good.
Yeah, I wasn't able to fill them all last time.
Grab all 6 of those light cures.
Oh. Oh, these.
Mm-hmm. Just because, like, getting silenced basically means you don't get to play the game until it goes away. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
having those is nice.
What? Interesting.
Which part?
This is for the expansion? For something?
Yep, that's for Bitter Black Isle.
Why do they not stack?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
And how is that?
I do believe they are one-use items, though.
Can you not fairy stone?
I don't believe so. Lift stones are a little different since they bring you out of a dungeon, basically, instead of fairy stoning. Since you can't, I don't believe fairies. I don't believe you can fairy stone to Bitter Black Isle. You didn't go to learn skills since you hit rank 9.
Didn't. I was concerned with getting my
If death
My empty
I
files,
have your
I
pick,
forgot about
any,
that
or will
part.
it be today?
Alright, what do you got for me, buddy?
You have this skill where you could set yourself on fire.
Uh-huh. Sacrificial bolt. I'm
Hypothet-
sorry?
You kill a pawn and shoot a super big arrow. And hypothetically, it's one of the highest damaging abilities in the game. However, most things aren't weak to dark and in fact resist dark. So it's trash.
Okay, good to know. I don't know what the 5 archmagics are, but I probably
They're the
don't have
5
them.
kinds of magic. 5 archmagics are like the kinds of magic, like elements.
Oh, they're the
Um,
elements.
I
So
believe it
it's just
increases the status effect. So, like,
when you...
Ascension will heal more.
Okay. Well, that's fine then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's like a pleasant side effect.
Because I don't think I got anything else in here.
Oh, no, I take it back. What that specifically does is it increases the power of spells that have a debilitation as a primary effect.
Which is...
So that is like things like Soper and Blearing, Silentium, things that like...
Do I have any of them?
you would if you were using a staff, but you are
I'm
not using a staff.
No, I'm a magic archer. Well, I guess the dagger
I mean, you could
is the
equip a staff.
alternative to the...
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be silly, though.
What will it be today?
Mhm.
Have your pick. Come again soon.
I don't know why you would use a bow and a staff. Seems like that
No.
overlaps.
Yeah, also, like, I think the dagger abilities are genuinely very fun. Also, if you use a staff, you can't use Magic Rebalancer, which is, like, the reason you play Magic Archer.
That seems very odd, too.
I know, right?
Why is that not,
Because it's keyed as a
well,
dagger
right.
ability.
I mean, from
Also,
a
because
design
if you could use it
perspective.
as a... so it's because, I believe you are able to use abilities for a weapon, even if you switch to a different class. I'm not 100% positive. But, like, imagine if you were playing a sorcerer and can do that.
Seems bad.
I mean, it's the thing where it's like, man, we probably shouldn't make wizards even more broken. You don't have the empty flasks, you gave them all away.
Sebastian has them.
Yep. He's
Buddy.
filling one right now.
Oh my god.
I love this stupid fucking game.
These things are very heavy.
It's true.
I think this is the problem last time. Hey, Moose. How's it going?
Hey, Moose. How's it going?
Everybody, fill your flasks.
Oh, the fucking production line is so funny. Game dumb as hell. I love this stupid fucking game.
I'm just imagining now like a horrible industrialization of this spring. Getting closed
yeah.
off and bought up as property, and we gotta... It's a magically infinite spring, but we gotta preserve the supply so we don't inflate or deflate the price too much.
So, like, we just don't want those poor people swimming in our spring. Fuck them.
Like diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Um, Marinades going all right, Moose. Also, spaghetti sounds sick as hell. What kind of spaghetti? Like, what kind of sauce? What you got? What you got in that spaghetti? Is it just like raw spaghetti noodles? What's going on here?
You guys are they are really slow at filling these.
Yes, they are. They are very, very, very slow.
And they did 10 in the time I did 25.
It says magically infinite spring owned by Nestle. Yeah, that's just sort of, if I remember correctly, how Nestle deals with water supplies in a lot of developing areas.
This is the world's most precious resource. We must control as much of it as we possibly can. I don't know if people still remember that, people remember Quantum of Solace? That existed.
Isn't that a James Bond movie?
It is a James Bond movie in which the main plot is about a villain trying to gain, like, to monopolize water in a global south country. And it features him saying the line, "This is the world's most precious resource. We must control as much of it as we possibly can." And people laughed at it at the time as like, this is a ridiculous,
just...
like, what a silly plot. This is so ridiculous.
That's just a legitimate thing that
that is the most real villain plot that has ever been in a James Bond movie, except for the fact that MI6 is trying to stop him.
Yeah, MI6 wants a cut.
Yeah.
Hell, the British Empire were the people doing that for a long time.
Yeah. God.
Fucking love bread, Moose. What kind of bread is it?
Wait, they didn't fill anymore.
No, they're stupid.
Oh, we were gonna also, I forgot. Oh, don't worry, he got some fish.
He's helping. Sebastian just, like, holds out a fish to you like a fucking, a dog bringing you a dead mouse. Like, it's just, look, I brought you a thing! Aren't you happy?
It is, really. Like, okay, guys, come on. Oh, now you want to fill? Now you want to go? Oh, now you want to get some more. Sure.
Thank you, Corn. You're very helpful.
Okay, I guess they fill up to like 10 and then they stop.
Sure, I guess. Also, ooh, that sounds good, Moose. Crusty bread loaves with garlic are tight.
Ooh.
I like bread.
Good.
I like garlic.
This is kind of painful, just watching them slowly decide. Oh yeah, I got more. My turn. Now it's my turn. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Okay, I think you guys finished. Let's see, did you get 10 again? You did. Okay, you do only fill up to 10. Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's so you can't make an actual production line.
I guess. No, I don't want to give it. I want to use it. I want to go to here. Does this game have a hydration mechanic? No. The spring water is just an AoE healing. That's really... I mean, it's a pretty decent AoE healing effect. It's like, I don't know, like a quarter of my health at this point.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there was a while when
and
it was
it's-
basically like 3/4 of your health.
Yeah, and it's effectively free.
hmm
As long
It's
as you
effectively
take the
free,
time.
and your it also gets around one of this game's like most frustrating isn't quite the right word, but like so when you take damage up to a certain point, you can't heal past that. Like you lose, let's say you lose 100 life points and or 100 HP, and then you can only actually heal like 60 of that 100 HP through magic.
Alright, they're on
And
my
like so it
level
ends
now.
up as you take more and more damage over and over again, you will slowly cap like you will have effectively a lower and lower maximum health bar. Yeah, exactly. It's damage to max health. The thing is, the way you heal damage to max health is you use consumables. And spring water is AoE, which means all of your pawns can use it to heal you. They will use it to heal themselves, and every time they do, they will also heal you. And it's faster than getting a healing spell cast on you. And also, it will heal damage to max health. It basically is, okay, I'm going to ignore this mechanic, please. Thank you.
The mechanic being health.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, like, yeah. Yes,
Yeah, it's
Spring
just
water
straight
is
up
literally like
better than any other healing method. It's kind of...
yes, it is straight up just the best healing method. And, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of a cheese, I guess, but, like, the alternative is just...
think it doesn't, like, it feels like this is fully intentional. You're not doing anything.
Yes.
It's
like
not a
shooting a boss
manipulation
with
of
arrows.
Yeah.
It's like shooting a boss with arrows in Dark Souls. Like, you can do that. You're not cheating. Like, it's not breaking the game. You're allowed to do that.
Well, I mean, most bosses in Dark Souls, that's not a very good way to beat them.
No, let me rephrase. It's like shooting the dragon to get his tail off with arrows.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Absolutely.
It's like, yeah, I guess, yeah, like, it's fine. You can do that if you want to spend 15 minutes dunking empty bottles in water. Go for it, I guess. You'll break the game. It's fine.
there are a couple bosses in Dark Souls where bows are good, and they're really, really good. And then they're generally bad.
Two,
Everything else.
there was one, I think, and that was patched out. Oh no, maybe two.
Yeah,
I can't remember because you used to be able to use a bow to get to a specific spot and then just shoot not Dragon Slayer or not the one who is Ornstein but dark, the other boss of that area in Hyde's Tower of Flame.
Oh, the Dragon Rider?
Yeah, not the Dragon Rider, the other one.
Those, yeah, it's Dragon Rider and Dragon Slayer are the two.
So I think it's Dragon Slayer then.
Which Dragon Slayer is Ornstein.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, the other one then. I had it
okay.
backwards. So Dragon
Yeah,
Rider
they
then.
have very different, they have very similar names.
Yeah.
The butterfly, Moonlight Butterfly in 1 is
it's just mandatory.
Is
Moonlight Butterfly is conceptually neat, but feels like a Demon Souls boss in that I go, oh, that's neat, and then I hate doing it.
I mean, at least like most of the times I played it, I haven't killed Moonlight Butterfly with ranged attacks, but because it just doesn't have that much health.
But it's just an unfun fight. Like, it's not hard. It's just not fun.
Yeah. You just dodge, then you just wait for it, then you just hit it, and it takes like 3 or 4 cycles, and it's like, oh, whatever. Yeah, I mean, because there's stuff like in Dark Souls 1, stuff that is cheese is like Manus in the DLC.
Oh, yeah.
You can see Manus outside his fog wall at the very bottom of that pit, and you could shoot poison arrows at him.
Yeah.
Like, that's not intended.
That one's not intended.
Oh yeah, you could summon the wizard NPC to kill the butterfly. Yep. That's on the level of also like throwing dung pies over the fog wall for Capra Demon. Uh,
Yeah,
which is also a thing you can do.
too.
Uh,
What's this?
yep, bombing the Capra Demon. Yep. Uh, yeah, those are not intended. Yeah, I mean the only I don't remember like the specific ones for 1-2, especially because I've played an actual bow playthrough with 3, because that game is the like most friendly to using a bow.
Both and 3 are like legitimately interesting and fun. The weapon arts give you like way more to do with bows.
There's weapon arts. There's also the light bow in 3 has a roll attack. So
Yeah, that's true.
You can dodge roll backwards and fire at people, which is life changing.
It's also just fun to do. Like it's just a fun thing to be able to do.
And so there's certain bosses that are like incredibly hard. The catacombs as an area are basically hell. Because skeletons, of course, are resistant to piercing damage
Fine spot.
in D&D tradition.
Yeah.
All bows do is deal piercing damage.
Take care of
Yup.
Master.
I believe it's the light bow, Elvac. Moose, not Elvac.
Yeah, it has a roll attack, so like there's normally roll attacks in Dark Souls for melee weapons where if you do this and then you get a special attack when you do that, which bows in Dark Souls 1 and 2 and all the other bows in Dark Souls 3 besides the light bow do not have. But yeah, you have a quick shot which deals less damage in Dark Souls 3 on the roll, but it's very fast. So you can actually kind of use it in melee combat basically. It's very good.
That's the short bow, I think, right?
Yes,
or is
the
it the
short
composite?
bow. That's what it is. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it's actually called. I knew it wasn't called the light bow. I'm just like, it's the, the weak bow. Okay, where am I actually going? I'm going out here somewhere, right?
There is a boat that you can get on. Maybe go back to shore. I'm trying to remember specifically.
Oh, is it the one on the shore? Well, there's ones on the shore.
No,
Like,
I think
is
it's
there a
out here.
quest?
I think talk to maybe that person
There's not a quest.
on the left.
I've heard, cousin, of the capital.
Oh yeah, I only played Monster Hunter World with a bow.
It beggars belief.
Monster Hunter World bow a lot. I'm the person who's bummed that they changed a lot of it and simplified it. Because one of the things in old Monster Hunter games is so every bow had it. There's 3 different arrow shot types: rapid, pierce, and spread. And like those changed the ranges the bows were effective at, and what coatings were effective on it. And so it made each bow feel like markedly different, but also like some of them were just straight up better, and also required you to have way more bows, and also required you to learn basically like 3 weapon types in one. And so like a lot of the changes in Monster Hunter World for bows were like streamlining and nice for actually learning to play the game. Bow is just good in that game.
It was a lot of fun when I played.
My preferred ranged weapon is actually in World is the light bow gun, because it's like a weapon that gives you tools for every like situation. I'm looking up how to get there right now.
What's the gunblade equivalent of Monster Hunter World?
What do you mean? Like the gun blade, like
I
like
just know that you
actually a sword.
Oh yeah, there is the one that's like there is an actual like gunblade, isn't there?
So it's not quite a gun blade. There's 2. There is charge blade and there is switch axe.
Okay, yeah.
Charge blade
there's one
is
that's
a
like
sword
a
and shield.
blade that you like stab you with and then you shoot them, right? Like.
Oh, there's also gun lance. Yeah. So there's
that's what. Okay.
Which is just a cannon that has a sharp point at the end, and you can shoot them with the cannon and also stab them.
Okay.
There is charge blade, which is a sword that you build up ammo that then explodes when you
I'll take that.
swing it as a big axe, because you combine the sword and shield together. And there is a switch axe, which is a big axe that also can explode. Yeah, I'm looking up how to get to there
Okay.
right now.
I was gonna see if I, because it tells me when I get in here. Usually, it's got the thing that's like rumors of blah. Go talk to blah. When I come in here, so I'm gonna try
This is
this
your
again.
hometown, isn't it, Jason?
Also about back in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, I think it does a good job with a lot of the weapons. There it is. Visit the pier at night. Okay.
Oh, right, that's what it is.
Yeah, one of my experiences with Dark Souls 3 was not on the bow character, but when I was streaming it, and I did the DLC for the first time, and I did what's her name? The sister, the like nun lady, whose name I can't remember at the moment. Frida, yes. It's like my favorite boss fight of that DLC.
Yeah, that boss
And
fight's
I got to like the second part of the, it's the 3-phase fight, and I got to the second phase of the fight, which is the dude, the father or whatever, with his fucking like cauldron or whatever. Yeah, chair dad. Yeah. And I just took out a bow that I had leveled up and basically just like did that fight, that phase of the fight just completely like it's just completely no danger because he can't move that fast. And you just like shoot him down and then move into phase 3 for free. And there were some people in chat that were like, that phase was so hard for me. I'm just like, yeah, well.
that phase, so I would use the dual wield daggers for a lot of that game, and that's what I think I had for that boss fight as well, or something that gave me like the Bloodborne dash as the weapon skill. I don't remember what it was, and that also trivializes that fight.
Because like the fight's still hard because Frida's hard.
Yeah.
It's like it's a
That's why I like
long ass
that
fucking
specifically.
fight. I don't know if I would like it that much if that was actually like if it didn't have that basically that kind of break in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that boss fight because it feels like a Bloodborne boss fight, like specifically like a light game, but a Bloodborne boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like the Lady Maria fight.
That makes sense
specifically
from what I've seen.
the parts with Freed specifically.
Yeah. Not sure, Dad. Yeah.
It's a shame about everything like plot related in Dark Souls 3, and also how like the first half of that game is maybe the most dog shit of any Dark Souls game. Because I really like a lot of that game's mechanics. I'm still just salty about how much of the beginning of that game is just fucking ad bosses, though.
Is that the fate you've chosen of your own will?
It feels like oh boy, this
You are arisen.
okay. There's a thing here. I guess we'll listen to this first.
We stand now on Bitter Black Isle, far as sea from the cove we departed. I would ask you to explore its depths.
Moose says, I don't like 3 as much as the others, but I feel like a lot of it is, like, obviously well polished. Yeah, that's, like, kind of where I am. I think it is the, like, in terms of just being an action game, I think it is the one that has the most fun systems to play in. I think in, like, just the actual weapon art system, all of the weapon movesets, like, the wide variety of tools, the way you, like, the distribution of those tools across, like, different stat distributions, I think it's the most fun like system, but I don't think it's bosses, especially early, are particularly well suited to taking advantage of that, and it's just probably my least favorite Dark Souls.
Yeah, I think it's like, for me, it's kind of like, it's the easiest, it's one of the easiest, I mean, along with the first one, because, I just love the first one so much, but it's kind of like the easiest game to just pick up and play
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, and,
absolutely.
I mean, it does just kind of feel like, it's just this, it's the third run in a franchise. It's like they know what they're doing very well. They're in terms of like their pipelines are really honed. They're really good at the production of making these kind of games at this point. But also
They're good at making Dark Souls after 4.5 of them.
But also they're kind of like obviously like they don't really want to be doing it, and there's not really anything
That game is about how they're fucking tired of making Dark Souls.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the dominant thing that Dark Souls 3 has to say, as I've talked about a lot, because I talked about it how throughout the entire time I streamed that entire game, is the thing they have to say is, please let us stop making Dark Souls. Please let us make anything that isn't Dark Souls.
Impossible. I would not send you off with so meager an explanation. But I feel I myself do not know it better. My past, my aims in coming here, all of it is lost, as in a fog.
Moose said, yeah, I can see that I missed a few things from 2, but it had the most friendly weapons to just try things with. What bummed me out was it really seemed interested in what I liked about 1 and 2, and was more about Dark Souls as recognizable. And God, yeah, the fucking puppet worm boss, Aldrich.
Yeah, Aldrich is like the most. I mean, give it to that game. I had a genuine emotional reaction to Aldrich the first time.
Aldrich is upsetting.
Yeah, like my fucking heart sank. I was like, this is really, really gross. Dark Souls 1 would be a lot more legendary if it were the only Dark Souls. It's,
I'm a person who's like, Dark Souls 2 is my favorite Dark Souls, and even I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, I mean that just seems pretty straightforward. Obviously, like it's not like a value statement, or it's not a statement of quality on the latter games. It's just a statement of like, yeah.
What's that?
So she's like, I would like to tell you more about what's going on, but I can't.
Yes, correct. I'm the person who's like, yes, I agree, FromSoft, you should stop making Dark Souls games.
Yeah,
so you can go back to making Armored Core games, for me specifically.
Well, first they gotta make their, I mean, maybe they're working, they're probably working on multiple games at once, but,
Elden Ring's never gonna exist. We're gonna get fucking the end of, Winds of Winter before we get Elden Ring.
That's a bold
Genuine
claim.
question. Do you think we get Winds of Winter, or do you think we get Elden Ring first?
Oh, Elden Ring, because I don't think.
You think George R. R. Martin's dying before we get Winds of Winter?
I was like, I had to think about it. Winds of Winter is the 6th book, so I do think Winds of Winter will come out.
You think?
I mean, he might be on his deathbed, or he might be dead, but.
I think he's never going to finish that. I think he's done.
I mean, I think the book is like.
Post, by the way?
No, I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I mean, I think my kind of, like, as someone who doesn't care about Game of Thrones at all, or Song of Ice and Fire, but who finds it kind of hilarious, my intimation from all the stuff, which obviously is not based on that much, but is that, like, the book is largely done, or enough of it is done. He's just fucking, like, not finishing, and I mean, I think the book that will never exist other than
Dream of Spring is never coming out.
Yeah,
ever.
the book that will only exist in like the post-death, like someone else gets hired to come in and write it from their
It's gonna be
notes.
They're gonna hire fucking Brandon Sanderson to come in and write that one too.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if they hired Brandon Sanderson to write those books, I'd read them. I fucking read Wheel of Time because Brandon Sanderson wrote the last couple of books of that.
Whereas I think Elden Ring will come out just because, like,
I mean, yeah.
games are like that are made under a different set of conditions. We don't really have like
It not coming out isn't an option.
yeah,
In the
yeah. I
same
mean,
way,
Duke
Winds of
Nukem
Winter not coming out
Forever
isn't.
kind of stuff doesn't happen. I mean, they happen in terms of like, but they don't get announced. Like, I mean, there are stuff like, you know, games that get announced that never come out. But hi Fiona.
Fiona, Seawolf wanted me to make you mad by telling you that I actually do like iced tea a great deal. It is my preferred way to drink tea.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, dogs. Wait, are these dogs?
Sorta.
I'm gonna kick it.
Okay. Fiona, I eat and live like a raccoon. Like, iced tea being gross is the least of my concerns. Also, it tastes good. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
Hot
Fiona
drinks suck.
is not gonna like tell you off about eating like a raccoon.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
We have triumphed.
But yeah, I agree. I think Winds of Winter comes out when he is either near his deathbed or they do a Robert Jordan and do the last two books, quote unquote, from George R. R. Martin's notes, or fucking what happened with Dune, where the son wrote it, and it
yeah,
was.
I mean that's I mean, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's the thing.
That's
Also,
uh-huh.
it took them a very long time to actually do that. Versus this will just be like immediate, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Because they had, well, it was the son and like Kevin J. Anderson, who I think is
Yes.
probably the guy actually writing it. And they wrote like the whole prequel trilogy. Did they write
Sure
two
did.
prequel trilogies first? Did they write both of them?
I can't
They
remember
wrote
what
two
the order
prequel
was.
trilogies, but I don't remember what
Yes.
order they wrote them in. But I
I'm
think they
looking it
wrote
up
both
right
of those
now.
first because I read one of the prequel trilogies as a kid and then started reading the second one, and I was like, this is all fucking garbage. And then
Everything after the first book is garbage. The first book is also garbage, but the first book is garbage ideologically, not because of the writing's bad.
I mean, I think all the Herbert books are the Frank Herbert books are fascinating. I don't think they're good, but they're like the books that they wrote later are just like generic sci-fi books. Like they're just
Yes.
things
Well,
with
hold
the
up. They're generic sci-fi books that do feature Duncan Idaho existing in 600 different forms and fucking to save the world or whatever his
well,
deal
I'm in
is.
the Sun and Kevin J. Anderson books. Who,
Yeah.
I guess I mean obviously Duncan's in the actual sequels that they write, which I have not read. But at least like the prequel books, especially the Butlerian Jihad books, which are the ones
Yes.
they gave up on, are just
Correct. There's a reason that
terrible.
there's a reason that Herbert did not write about the Butlerian Jihad, like explicitly in the fucking
Well,
book
they just
Dune.
make it the lead, like, because it's literally Terminator.
Yes. Mhm.
Like it's just Terminator, and like, the Valerian Jihad is interesting in Dune because of the suggestion that it's not Terminator.
Mhm.
It's like today. It's like if a religious cult today rose up and destroyed all computers because they're like computers run people's lives. Like that's the implication, at least that I always took out of Dune. Is that
So there's the implication that like that ruined people's lives, but also like there was a conflict with computers
sorry,
in
Fiona.
some capacity. And like, but like that's the thing. The fact that there is not like any clear indication is the valuable
Right.
part of the Butlerian Jihad, in part because it is about how the fallibility of record keeping and like the way record keeping can shift over the years, because like that's also to a degree what Dune as a franchise is about when Herbert was in control.
Sure. It's also all, it's very Star Warsy, and that it's
Yes.
like, who are the main characters of the Butlerian Jihad from like, whatever, 10,000 years ago. Or it's not 10,000 years ago. I don't remember when the Butlerian Jihad is, but it's thousands of years ago in the past.
It's 10,000. It actually is about 10,000 years ago, I think.
Okay, I know that like the date system in Dune is about 10,000 years, but I didn't know if that was after the Butlerian Jihad, like if they're counting from the Butlerian Jihad or not.
Okay, so in Dune, it looks like the Butlerian Jihad, it takes place over 11,000 years in the future from us, and over 10,000 years before the event of Dune.
Okay. And yeah, so the main characters in the prequel, in the books that they wrote about the Butlerian Jihad, are like the Harkonnens and the Atreides.
Yeah,
It's just like, fuck off. Like, and the Carrinos. The Carrinos are there.
Right, yeah.
Well, they're not the Carrinos yet, because they have to win the Battle of Corin and then take the name Carrino. And also there's a lady named Serena Butler who gets killed, like who gets fridged, and she becomes the namesake of the. And it's just, God, what a bunch of garbage. Does this?
It's wild how in Dune, this is where we're like, man, this is garbage.
I mean, it's generic.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I agree.
Did he kill all my pawns?
Mighta.
Did he like take all my pawns?
I would check your inventory.
Bounce?
Yeah, he killed your pawns. Rip.
So he just showed up and then bounced. I mean, it was like a Grim Reaper thing.
Yeah, that thing will just kill your pawns and bounce.
Also in the thing, I'm sorry for going through this, but the stuff that I remember from these books I read from when I was a kid, and they were very disappointing. It was like, oh, this is how things could be very disappointing to you. The Atreides character is the bad guy, and the Harkonnen character is the noble one, and then he gets framed, and that's the origin of the Atreides Harkonnen feud for 10,000 years, apparently.
It's so dumb.
Hey guys.
Okay, so this is a place where it might be worth grabbing Ricochet Arrow over the Rain of Arrows ability. Both because there are a lot of enemies that are weak to lightning here, but also because you have narrow hallways.
God, I had to pick up my own loot.
Yeah, honestly, I would go back to the surface and get your pawns back before delving any deeper.
I have just no idea, like, what is going on or where I am.
It's a dungeon. Like, this is like... when I say this is like a D&D Dark Souls dungeon, I mean it's like a Gary Gygax dungeon.
I get it. That's why I'm just like, oh god, this is gonna be a lot.
Yes,
this
is true.
Legend of Grimrock shit here.
Hell yeah, it is. It's great.
I didn't make it very far in that game.
Fucking wizardry ass shit. I love wizardry.
Where's the Otyug? There's probably not an Otyug. It's probably not a Gygaxian dungeon.
What's an Otyug?
An Otyug is a creature. It's you know the monster in the trash compactor in Star Wars?
Yes.
That's an Otyug.
Oh, okay.
They are classically featured in Gygaxian dungeons because they're an explanation of what happens to the trash. The Otyug eats it. There's a big pit somewhere that all the like goblins and shit dump their trash in, and the Otyug shows up and eats it.
That sounds like something Gary Gygax would come up with.
It's the yeah in Mages and Murder Deaths, just the podcast about Baldur's Gate. It is like the sort of iconic example of this idea of like of Gygaxianism in terms of like a need to explain how the dungeon ecosystem works, but in, you know, fairly simplistic terms.
Yeah.
I don't think this is intending to be a dungeon ecosystem in that way.
No, it is not interested in being a dungeon ecosystem. It's just like, hey, this is cool.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh, you needed to get new pawns anyway, didn't you?
I looked and they were like one level behind, so I didn't bother with it at the time.
Oh, okay.
Because they were...
You could always get, like, ones that are, like, 2 levels ahead now. You have plenty of rift crystals.
I could.
Might as well. Like, you will be in the dungeon for a little bit longer than you would, like, because, like, since it's a dungeon, going back actually is a loss of progress because you can't just put down a stone.
I don't know how much of this I'm going to end up doing.
That's fair.
I'm like, oh no, I need a mage. I'm trying to remember which ones I need.
Like, I think it is interesting. I think it is also, like, entirely reasonable to be like, I'm not that interested in that. I think there is, like, neat narrative stuff here, but I think it is, like you have hit the bulk of the narrative meat of this game.
It might be something I do off stream, maybe. If I'm just, like, chilling out or something, because it's hard for me to pay that much attention to the dungeons, and, like, I have to, like, really... I feel like I have to know where I'm going.
Go back real quick. Because there was a dude back there, I believe. You'll be able to get inventory from.
God, I just, like...
You did not get
I know,
anybody.
I realized. See? This is what... I'm a little bit frazzled.
That's okay. Yeah, this and the Everfall are both things where it's like, I mean, you know, the Everfall at least is mostly just singular rooms.
Okay, nope, not that. I don't have any fucking favorites. Because this game doesn't work online for whatever reason. What is a Strider?
Strider is the rogues.
Okay. That was
Strider is
I was like, I don't remember. There's some kind of ranger rogue.
So Strider is like the initial. So there's basically 3 types of classes. There is the basic vocations, which is warrior, which is sword or fighter.
Yeah, there's a fighting man, a
board.
magic user, and a thief.
Yes. And then you have the advanced versions of the vocations. The Strider is more like roguey and mixed bag. They use a short bow and daggers. Ranger is more bow focused, but they also still use a dagger. And then you've got the hybrid versions of each classes. No, actually. So, like, there is a distinct use case for using Strider versus using a Ranger. Rangers are built around you're going to deal shit tons of damage with your bow, but your dagger stuff isn't as good, and you're not quite as mobile as with a as you would be as a Strider.
Yeah, so like because the ones that I do know are like the fighter is the sword and board guy, and then their upgraded class is the warrior, which is a two-handed. So it's a DPS versus defense thing. And then the mage is like has like all the healing spells and buff spells and stuff, and then the sorcerer is the upgrade, which is all damage spells.
Yeah, basically. And then there's the hybrid classes, but only the main character can be those.
Yes, then there's hybrid classes, like the magic archer.
The reason to play this game.
The other ones are fun.
They're fun, but it's just like there's a little
skip
special
the whole
sauce.
climbing, climbing mechanic, which is a big deal. That just don't engage with as an archer.
That is true. You do just kind of skip that mechanic, but here's the thing: it's way more fun to shoot your magic bow than it is to climb.
Look, I'm the person who played Monster Hunter World with only a bow, so you don't have to convince me.
That's fair.
The exact same situation. Do you have? Is your only attack spell? Grapple?
Would not take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you. What are you doing over here?
Yes, Arisen.
Saying so.
Healing. I don't
Trigger's
care
good.
about. Freak. Okay. Holy Boon is okay. Ice Affinity. Okay. I wish you had slightly better boons, but you do have good attack spells.
Yeah, they're an option at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Alright,
I at least wish Holy Boon was upgraded. That's like the big thing for me.
you had the Lightning Whip.
Whip is very funny as an ability.
It is. Oh yeah, you had some pretty...
I mean, they got all 3 major affinities. That might actually be
Yeah.
worth grabbing.
Yes, Arisen.
I'll probably just do that. Because I
I
just
am
don't.
honored to
Also,
travel
you're
with
another
you.
child. I mean, actually,
Just gonna
you're
commit
not,
a small war crime.
you're not. I don't think you're as short as that other person was.
That other one was both incredibly short and also looked proportionally like a child.
Yeah, they just genuinely looked like a child. I actually was confused. Garrett. Oh, I can't roll in here.
Yes, Arisen.
No, you can't. It would be very funny if you could. Or if you could pick them up and just throw them around.
Oh my god, that would be very funny. Okay. No secondary abilities again.
Yeah, I wonder if fighters just can't equip secondary abilities, which would be fucking stupid if that was the case.
Or
the warriors couldn't.
Yeah. I don't know, do they? Yeah, like... that's... It's fine, I guess. All these guys, when I look at them, I'm like, that seems fine, I don't know. What the fuck is your weapon?
Sick as hell?
Like the fucking, like saw
looks like
shark?
I was about to say, it looks like a fucking logging saw.
Yeah.
As we all know, the thing that makes swords better is making them pointier like that, and it wouldn't make it a fucking nightmare to use, sharpen, or, like, effectively swing.
Jet. No.
You don't want to be launched into the air by ladder blade?
Yes, Arisen. If you...
Oh, fucking ladder blade, dude.
Yes, Arisen. Yes,
Okay,
Arisen.
you have like the exact same skills as the other guy. This guy.
Yes, Arisen.
And this guy's got this hilarious sword, so...
Yes, Arisen. I am.
Oh. Okay, I actually got the
This pawn
things.
feels most at ease near a riftstone.
Did you want me to do something else while I was out here?
Yeah, so there should be, I believe you can talk to her, and can pick up, items from your stash. Since your other pawns died, you'll have to pick up, the,
Right.
waters from them.
Sure.
The 152 is that, yeah. You'll probably want to deposit a bunch of stuff from your inventory, too.
Okay, let's just give you 25 and we'll split Sebastian's. Sure. What do I got in here? Oh, King Warish now. For a massive amount of health.
Mm-hmm.
What? Nope. Yep, we can bust these. Yeah, sorry.
You don't want to wear your thought highs, and that's upsetting to me, but I understand.
Oh, I got new capes, huh?
You did get new capes.
I guess I gotta go look at those. Okay.
Yeah, so that is the other thing about this dungeon, is there is random roll drops.
Ooh. I mean, it's a good look. It's not...
It's a good look. It's worse in every way, but it is a good look.
I mean,
It's like
gotta
barely
upgrade
worse.
it. Yeah, it's not that much worse.
I wore the shoulder cape like basically the entire game every time I've played, though. Feet, yes, the most important part of Dragon's Dogma, fashion dogma.
My hope I shall aid you however I
We've
can,
tried.
for therein lies my own
Oh, you
downfall.
can't enhance
And the
things?
other thing I would get is the lift stone.
Oh,
If
right.
there is aught I can do, say it.
Moose is right. Dragon's Dogma is dog is in the name.
If there is aught I can do, say it.
Okay. Well, I can't actually, enhance them, I guess?
I mean, yeah, but it's like 3 points of defense.
If there is
I
aught
know,
pray,
but I don't mind.
Okay. There will be a dude here eventually who I believe will be able to upgrade stuff for you, but I don't believe you've unlocked him yet.
I'll assume I have not unlocked anything.
Yes,
Alright.
that is a safe assumption. And yeah, so this is like basically what the end game looks like. Like you do Bitter Black Isle as much as you are interested or want to do, and you do the Everfall until you have 20 Wake Stones, and then you end the game.
Do I get to kill the Duke?
No, I don't believe you get to kill the Duke.
Fucking hell, man.
I know.
Ah,
To
God!
be fair, now, to be fair, you did fuck the Duke's wife, and that is way funnier.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to kill him.
You did try and kill him.
And he threw me out a window? Well, I think I jumped out a window.
Yeah, you like jumped out the window and then ran away because you would rather not murder the dude and be sent to jail. And then like the world fell apart, and so everybody was like, maybe we won't focus on you right now.
Does someone live
Who
here?
is the Duke? I mean, he's an old guy who sacrificed someone to make a deal with the dragon.
Yeah. In sacrificing his beloved for a deal with the dragon, he basically acquired large amounts of earthly power, and it is unclear if it was unnaturally long lifespan or actual immortality.
Yeah,
Because he
he's
aged.
He's like Golemed.
He is 90, or 80 or 90, but he looked like he was like maybe 45 before. Now he looks like he is like 120.
I'm sorry, the Gossip's Mask?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Why is it called the Gossip's Masks?
Yeah, he's a Faust, Moose.
Yeah, he is. And then he comes back as like the world's falling apart after you've killed the dragon.
You basically end
You
up.
go back to him, and he's like, "Oh, I know what you did. You did the same thing I did. You made the deal." And you're like, "No, I didn't, buddy."
Yeah, so like the question posed to the Arisen is always, hey, listen, you can either fight me, the dragon, and I'm going to kill you, and because I'm a dragon, or I can give you this bargain. We don't have to fight. You can tell everybody whatever the fuck you want. You'll get a bunch of earthly power. All you have to do is sacrifice your beloved. It's a good deal. And the Duke cannot fathom anybody not taking that deal because he assumes it's a foregone conclusion that you would lose. And so when you try and explain, no, you killed the dragon, or mime that you killed the dragon, he is entirely unable and unwilling to believe it. And so instead he thinks you conspired with the dragon to steal his life and power from him. And that was the nature of the deal.
Which, to be fair, again, I did sleep with his wife.
Yeah, I want to be clear here. This is not an exaggeration. We literally definitely fucked the Duke's wife.
And in fact, when the dragon kidnapped our beloved,
It was the Duke's wife,
It was
yes.
the Duke's wife.
This is not a joke. This is just literal and textual. It's the funniest thing in the game.
To be fair, as described last time, there are funnier options for who shows up. Oh, hey, buddy.
I think an important point to note is that a lot of this is either implied or inferred. The writing in this game is sparse, we'll say. But like, there is not like more information that is like not conveyed to you. Like what we have told you is basically what is there. Elbeck says, how Arthurian, and yes, I agree. It is very, very, very Arthurian. Which means I love it, because I fucking love Arthur shit.
Yeah, and you know how Arthur ends?
I mean, it depends.
The name of the, well, I'm gonna say,
I mean,
in Thomas Mallory, it's the name of the book.
uh-huh. I mean, you're right. To be fair, though, you got to fuck King Arthur's wife, and Lancelot does not. So who wins, really?
I mean, yeah, I'm better than Lancelot, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Lancelot
I mean,
sucks.
yeah. It depends.
I like it. This is a statement that causes you consternation.
So, part of it is, it really depends a lot on what version of the Arthurian cycle we're talking about, because, like, there's the version of the entire Castle Joyous arc, which is, like, this is an allegory used by monks and by the church to demonstrate the importance of fidelity and faithfulness, both in vassals and in marriage, and Lancelot and Guinevere are actually, like, literally and intentionally responsible for the entire fall, and like Arthur is blameless for it. And like in that version, yeah, Lancelot sucks because like that's like the point. Lancelot is the one who ruins everything. And then there are later versions, especially I mean like the Morte d'Arthur is I think one of the earlier ones that really complicates that relationship. But ones that came post the Morte d'Arthur, I believe, also do a lot to complicate it, and paint Arthur as kind of a piece of shit.
I mean, I think they all suck.
I mean, yes.
I'm not going to bat for any of these knights and feudal aristocracy, obviously.
I mean, yes, I agree. I am not, like, particularly interested in going to bat, but, like, there is, like...
Sure, I get you saying.
Lancelot, like, varies in character between a weak-willed person who breaks the fidelity of both the Round Table and also coerces the wife of the king.
I don't care about that part.
Yes, I agree. But, like, there's the other version of him, which is the single person who's willing to stand up against his liege and the person he arguably loves more in the world to protect a person he believes is wrong, and a romantic relationship or quasi-romantic relationship springs out of that. And, like, there is complicated relationship dynamics that can happen there that I think are genuinely interesting. And that's not how a lot of it was used a lot of the time. Especially when you start talking about Elaine, who is Lancelot's wife, I guess? Again, depends. It depends on the version. It depends on the version.
The best knight is the magic guy who can reattach his head. I mean, that's true.
That's the Green Knight. He fucking rules.
Absolutely fair.
Gawain and the Green Knight unironically fucking rules. It is so fucking funny.
We have talked about this, literally on this stream before.
That does sound like a thing we could talk about.
I'm pretty sure, at least, I mean, you and I have talked about it, so I'm pretty sure it has happened on this stream. Because I think it was, there's that movie that's coming out at some point. Theoretically,
where they just pick the fucking hottest dude in the world, and I was like, I'll watch this, fine, because he's hot.
And I said, I mean, it looks cool. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm a little sad that it's like it seems to be playing it dramatically and not as just this fucking galactic farce. Because the story is just, it's just clowning on him.
The story is a goof. It's
Yeah,
intentionally funny.
it's just a series of hilarious jokes.
I want you to chop off my head and fuck my wife, and then I'm going to chop off your head and fuck your wife. and fucking Gwen is like, I mean, I don't think you're serious. So, like, I guess you're the one who wants me to chop off your head, so it can't go wrong for me. And then the dude puts his head back on and he's like, cool, I'll be back in a year, gonna chop off your head, gonna fuck your wife.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just, it's such an
It's
exercise
so funny.
in, like, just this series of episodes, that are just, yeah, it's very good.
It's so good.
Oh, we're descending a level, I guess.
I believe so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about Arthur before on this stream, because I think we've also talked about one of my favorite incidents that's in Le Mort d'Arthur and not in pretty much every other version, is where Arthur gets so powerful, like the whole thing, it's like obviously a big part of the arc is like Arthur's rise and then his fall. And in Le Mort d'Arthur, his rise includes he invades Europe and fights the Roman Empire and fights a one-on-one duel with the Roman Emperor and defeats him in personal combat, and the Pope crowns him the new Roman Emperor. And that is the moment when he is invading Europe and getting crowned as the Emperor of Europe. That's the moment when Mordred stages his coup and seizes control of England. And so that's like his highest high, and then immediately going into his fall. And it's just
probably shouldn't have tried to fuck his sister then.
It's the funniest. This is in no modern adaptations have this arc, because it's so hilarious.
It's very funny. I mean, a lot of it is because most modern arcs are afraid to let Camelot be a place that exists in the real world, in a real space.
That's true. There's no outside of Britain in any of these things, unless they're doing the other thing they do is the gritty, this is the real story with Roman soldier Arthur or something.
An honest mistake,
which is terrible.
Yeah.
Now, will you have a look?
Oh.
See you don't regret it.
What is Rarefy?
So, I believe is the next level of upgrade. So now you can take things that are Dragon Forged and upgrade them even further.
Oh.
So I can do basic upgrades and then also and a further upgrade system.
Wow. That's a whole thing, huh?
Sure is.
Lizards go. Oh, wow. I actually have enough for these. Oh, they cost RC.
They do.
Something else costs RC. Wow.
Yeah, they heard people being like, hey, there's nothing for me to spend RC on because I'll just get pawns at my level, I guess. And they went, oh, okay, here, have things to spend RC on.
Oh, neither of my weapons are Dragon Forged.
No, because you got them both after you fought Dragon, and you haven't fought any dragons since.
That is correct. Yes. Let's go see what this does. What is it? It doesn't.
You do not have enough.
Oh, I don't have enough. I thought it was showing.
No, you don't have. You have seen the item, but you don't have enough of the item.
Huh.
Could max out the workers' gloves, I guess.
could, but I'm not using them. I don't think they're.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
have.
I believe your Jade Bangles also upgrade your magic.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Sorry, Gossip Mask.
Damn, what are you going to use to protect you when you talk shit behind your pawn's back?
Huh.
Wouldn't it be? Now we no dying.
Yes, I got it, buddy. Excuse me? Yes!
Hell yeah, you killed some rats.
I think those are rabbits.
Looks interesting.
Oh. Well, one way or the other, you completed a quest. Good job.
Yes, I completed the
You missed a
quest.
chest right behind you.
Did I?
Oh, well, I guess one of your pawns got it for you. Never mind.
It's like I heard it open. I didn't see it, but I heard it open. Dear. Oh, this is too idyllic.
Save here real quick. You know, just in case.
Uh-huh.
Many a life was ended by falling from too great a height.
Excuse me?
To be honest, I don't know how many lives are actually ended by falling from too great a height. That seems like a kind of infrequent death form.
Oh, you know, maybe.
I'm not saying it doesn't ever happen. I'm just saying, you know.
Moonbeam gem.
There's a couple of Moonbeam gem doors here.
Oh, they're all Moonbeam gem doors? They are.
Yep.
I thought they were gonna each have a different gem.
No, Moonbeam gem doors just end up being you can pick any one of these doors to open with a Moonbeam gem.
Yeah, I think that's true, Moose.
That is true, I guess.
But there's not a lot. I don't think death by falling is very common. Oh, they really want me to have these thundering spears.
Yeah, it's true. They do want you to have this.
I don't know what they're for.
They do a spell.
Yeah, I know, but
You should use one.
why?
They do a spell. It's a cool spell.
Okay. There's someone here. It's the lady who brought you here.
So yeah, so you know how there's that one ring that you have, or those couple rings you started with that improve a basic ability?
Yes.
So there are some of the items you can get are rings, and they can each improve different abilities with the basic kits. So like you could get a better lightning spell or something for being a wizard. There's a couple of abilities for daggers that can get improved. I don't believe there's any for magic archers. Let me check.
This looks interesting.
If you're tired, rest.
Okay, no, there is. There's some for each class, it looks like. looks like you might still not give a shit about him though. Let's see.
Won't budge, sir.
Oh, okay, no. Yeah, you would give a shit about him because one of them turned 6-fold bolt into 9-fold bolt,
Oh.
It is too sturdy for all
which is just better.
What's that?
Yeah, that would be good.
It can also change the so you know the fire arrow spell where it puts a
Yes.
thing on there, and if somebody hits it with a physical spell, so it can also upgrade that one into a version that summons multiple fire arrows.
Oh, good. A cluster mine.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, they don't stack. That's
If you feel
interesting.
a foe is beyond our means, there is no shame in fleeing.
I don't know why they don't stack.
Part of that is because you'll never need more than one on you. Because if you use one, you're by definition brought out of the dungeon.
Sure.
So yeah, the way the dungeon works is there are like Dark Souls shortcuts, basically, that double back on themselves. You remember that gate, you're off to the right that you had seen when you first came in to the island?
Yeah, vaguely.
So that is a exit from a shortcut that will let you start deeper in the dungeon, basically.
Sure. I played... I'm trying to think of a game with an actual mega dungeon that I played. Pillars of Eternity 1. Has a mega dungeon.
Mega dungeon, didn't it?
Does.
Was its mega dungeon any good?
It's fine. I mean, I did the whole thing.
It's fair.
The endless paths. Killed the dragon at the end.
Seems like if there's an ending, it's not really an endless path, is it?
Well, nobody else made it to the end.
It seems like they were just wrong then.
Or they died. I think maybe they got to the end and then they got killed by the dragon.
That's fair, but
yeah, they're wrong.
that means they're still wrong about it
It's
being
a
an endless path.
misnomer. Yeah, well, you know, that's also where
They should have not died.
the giant Adra statue is. Like it's going throughout the whole dungeon, like on different levels of the dungeon. You get to see different parts of the statue, which is pretty cool.
I believe if you go to the right, go back on top of that pillar,
Oh, I can.
I think you can get on that ledge.
Yeah, I mean that's Moose says. Thought just finished that mega dungeon. Thought it was okay, but not amazing, which is most of my pillars' thoughts. Yeah, that's my thoughts about the first game in general.
That's that game basically as a whole.
Yeah. I do like the DLC a lot more for that game than the base game. And I like Deadfire a lot, the sequel.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about the sequel, and DLC I've also heard is good.
Yep.
Oh, it's another Moonbeam door.
It is.
Rip.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I've. Oh yeah, I actually, that is one of my favorite things, is the like spider people, the Vithrak or whatever, which show up in Endless Paths a fair amount as like NPCs, like not necessarily enemies. I like them a lot. You see more of them in Deadfire here and there.
I wonder
And yeah, I mean, I have you beat the main game, Moose, or gotten to like the last act? There are a lot of chests in here.
Yeah, I complaints about Tyranny, but it is very tightly paced. That there is no disagreements from me there.
Because yeah, one of my main complaints about the Pillars of Eternity 1 is basically you have the last mission left. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, then I won't spoil it. But basically, there's stuff you find out in the last act of that game, and after the point of no return, that changes the way that story works a lot. And I think, like, that stuff, even though you can do the DLC before that, the DLC doesn't directly reference it. It is definitely, like, kind of intended for you to have that context. It's written that you kind of have that context. And obviously, the sequel is explicitly built around that context. And I think the game works a lot better. The story works a lot better when you have that context. I think it's a twist.
I was about to say that story works a lot better in retrospect than
I think it hurt. It's one of the. It's a twist that hurts the game to be a twist, like rather than something you find out earlier on. Is this just the way down, or is this the way it came in? No, this is not the way.
I think that's the way down. Moose says the thing where you go down the god hole.
Yep, that's the start of the last act, the point of no return. So yeah, basically right after that, it's when you kind of get the big, you get like a big info dump about various stuff.
I mean, that's like 60% of that game is big info dumps.
Well, that's true. I mean, like, Pillars 1 is a frustrating game, and I've talked about this before, because I think there's a lot of really interesting narrative stuff going on. It's just not a narrative that works well.
If you go to that red thing, it's a rift stone you can repair.
In the context of, like, the game. Like, the conflict is something that... Okay. Sure, I'm glad I didn't spend my rift crystals. Oh, so this is just a thing for pawns, though.
Yes.
Okay.
But they are useful to have because your pawns will just sometimes die.
Sure. Sight earring. Is it gonna make me immune to blind? Well, resistance.
Moose, I want to be clear, I am not confirming anything, but I am agreeing that with the information you have on hand, that is a reasonable assumption to be making.
Oh well.
I agree, too. I actually liked a lot of the companions in the first one.
I do. I do, too.
Like, sometimes I just like a fantasy story-ass fantasy characters, and, like, they're well-written fantasy characters, and so it's a perfectly enjoyable set of cast. I even like a lot of their dynamics. I even like the fucking card. Like, yeah, it's one of the only...
Yeah, Adair, which is the fighter, like the card. He's the first guy you start with. Yeah. He's the generic fighter. I liked him well enough in Pillars 1, and then I think in Deadfire he's probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, everything I've seen of him in Deadfire is like...
Yeah, because in Deadfire he's just like the guy who's been with you since the beginning, and he's seen all this shit, and he just like is like, whatever, man, I'm just along for the ride. Like,
fucking yeah. Well, and like Adair's whole like concept is genuinely really interesting.
It is,
like,
yeah. It's his whole personal crisis of faith kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, like he is a dude who maybe saw his god and really didn't like what he saw, and it's like, oh, that is interesting, and his crisis of faith is born by, like, his actual ideas that also come from his faith.
Yeah, it's interesting that Pillars 1 is, like, a game where really the earlier companions... Like, the weirder, farther out companions are the companions I'm not as interested in. Which is
it's kind of a KOTOR 1 in that same sort of case. I mean, outside of Karth and KOTOR 1, because nobody gives a fuck about Karth.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's I'm thinking, like, so much of the BioWare stuff is, like, the initial companions are the ones you don't give a shit about.
KOTOR is the one where I think that's an exception, because, like, Bastila Shan is, like, the core of that game. Like, that game doesn't work without Bastila.
I think that's true narratively. I also think that game doesn't work for me.
Great.
Holy fucking shit!
I agree. I think that game
Like, I don't
does
care
not work
about
in general.
Bastila, and I agree. The game needs you to care about Bastila.
Yes. Yeah, no, like, the only way that game works is on Bastil's back, but that is, like, the game is bad. Moose says, I think Adair is pretty neat. Duran sucks as a guy, but he's instantly written. I like Sagami, and I like the chanter whose name I'm blanking on. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't really like Durant. I think he's... I mean, well, I definitely don't like him. Like, you know, I don't enjoy him because he's just an asshole. I don't...
The authors really enjoyed writing piece of shit man.
I mean, he is one of the characters written by Chris Avallone, so...
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, Grieving Mother is kind of interesting, but I didn't
She's
really...
the psychic, right?
Yes, the one who nobody else can see, except
right.
for you. Yeah, I like Sagani a lot, because she's just kind of, you know, she's just like the neat person who's hanging out, basically. I mean, she's got her personal quest, but,
yeah, she's cool.
What's that?
Pallegina's cool in that game, too. Like, she's alright.
Oh, yeah, Pallegina, I guess, is probably the one that's, like, the kind of standout, like, she's got a lot going on. She's not just, like, kind of a generic character that I do like a lot.
Kind of Rua, too.
Yeah. But
like, I don't like Kana as much, but yeah. I like Pallegina more. Like, I think there's, like...
And Pallegina in Deadfire is fucking good. She is so good.
Didn't you have to kill her in your ending?
No, I didn't. But she did leave. She did leave because I didn't support the Valians.
Right, that's what it is.
Yeah, I had to kill somebody else.
I see.
Who was my love interest.
Right. Oh, right. Pallegina was not your love interest in that game. I thought she was.
Would have been. But yeah, Pallegina, because Pallegina is, and I don't remember how much this comes across in 1, but it's not like something that's changed between 1 and 2. It's just something that becomes, I think, more emphasized in 2. Pallegina is basically an atheist. Like, she just isn't interested in any of the gods and stuff, and so when you have someone in 2 as one of your main party members who is very religious and is like this, like, kind of like homespun like southern
Shody so much.
Yeah,
she
Shody
rules.
is
Shody
just like this
rules.
southern good girl who's like, oh my word, like
Shody feels like a character in a fucking in like a southern gothic,
yes,
who is
absolutely.
destined for terrible things to happen to her. She feels like a fucking what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Alexa, she doesn't roll. I mean, she's like kind of a shitty person. I just think she's very funny, and specifically, what is funny is she just gets so flustered by Pallegina, and it's not like Pallegina is like deliberately antagonizing her. Pallegina is just being herself and just like, you know, she just and Chody just cannot stand it and gets more and more angry about it.
But it's not even like
well, she's like,
it's not even like anger. It's like
she's pouting.
Pure frustration where she doesn't really understand.
Yeah, I mean, she
how
just
anybody
throws a childish fit about it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great. She rules. I love Chody. I want to be clear here. This is not like ironic. I genuinely love Chody as a character.
Yeah, I think that is the good version of this character who is like. I mean, it's interesting to compare it to like Durant's because they're both the priests of the game, and they're both really shitty people, to be honest. But Durant's is obviously like very in your face about how fucking much of an asshole he is.
You can see an avenue where Chody can be less of a piece of shit too. Like,
yeah, that's true.
a lot of like Chody's like genuinely garbage ass behavior comes from like the ways she believes things, and like, but like it is never because she doesn't care. Like, she clearly cares and is like hurting people because she thinks she's right and knows the best way to fix things or to do things in such a way that it like ends up actually hurting people. Which, like, as like a queer trans person who grew up around a lot of like fairly Catholic and Christian folks. That's a character that resonates with me. I would love to believe in a version of that character who, like, is redeemable.
Oh, we just hit one. Okay. I thought their summons took the ascension.
No, it's just the wall stops it.
I
Because
see
hitboxes
that.
are weird in this game.
Huh. Well, one of them.
They
got
do
hit
fucking
by
explode, though.
something. Yeah.
I mean, Durance is a lot more helpful in combat, but that's just because priests are just flat out better in one.
Yeah, I think that's true. Because I mean, I use Chody basically the whole game in Deadfire because I think she is helpful, but she's a lot more replaceable.
Yeah, the cross-class system immediately means that priests no longer are the only ones who can do their
Yeah,
job.
I mean, it was definitely a goal in one to make it so you don't always need a priest, but I don't think it succeeds. It is, I mean, you can play it obviously without Durant or a priest, but it is a very big difference.
Yeah, you need some combination of Chanter and Cypher, and like, you would rather have both of those characters doing something different. Yeah, Durance just is like, hey, what if I had buffs and damage and like crowd control and just like made sure people didn't die? And Chody is like, well, I've got some buffs and like I can do a little bit of CC and also like I'll heal people and like that's all pretty good.
This looks interesting.
Like she's pretty good at all those roles. Yep.
Yes, Elbeck. I remember watching that, and I was like, God, this game was so much easier when I played it with Durance in my party 100% of the time.
Yep. Durance sucks ass, but also like, man, Durance is good in that game, and so it's hard to not use him.
Yeah.
It is funny how brutally Sentient just trivializes undead.
Yeah, they did a lot of balance work in patches and stuff with Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
In Deadfire too, but I think not quite as drastic because they were just better at it. But
yeah, they were just closer to where they wanted to be out the gate with Deadfire.
But yeah, which I appreciate. It's I mean,
I should go back to.
I was just say that the director of both those games, Josh Sawyer, is somebody who cares about balance a lot, because there's a lot of I think those sorts of things where they're like, it's a single player game. Like, do we care? Like, are we worried? Because there's other things to prioritize. Yes, Elvac, I know it's very sad, and it feels like it is. I mean, it feels like to me that's in large part. I think we've said this, talked about this before. Is like a response to Pillars 1 being not as good as people wanted it to be, which feels very sad. That like.
I mean, I would, to be clear, I would not shoot that giant right now.
Okay.
He is chained up to the wall. I can't guarantee he'll remain chained up to the wall if you shoot him.
I remember this section of Dark Souls 3. I think. I think it's in Dark Souls 3. What are you doing? Oh, is there a mage?
Elvac, when you say you would have gladly played a lot more, but the DLC was not good, do you mean for Deadfire?
Bye. Yeah, this is totally that zone in Dark Souls 3.
It is very. This is a section of the game that very much was like a, hey, Dark Souls is pretty cool after Dragon's Dogma came out. What if we kind of did that?
Yeah, I play, because there's like 4 DLCs for Deadfire or something. And they're on a kind of spectrum of how much narrative they are versus just combat stuff. I did 3 of them. I left the one that was like, this is just combat arenas. And they were fine. Some of them, I think there was one of them that I thought was pretty good, but
but not like none of them essential to the experience.
I mean, they deal a lot with, you know, the kind of same themes of what the main game is dealing with, but I don't think they're...
Fucking, those iframes are so stupid.
I didn't mean to do that, to go into...
That's what I mean.
To that again, but,
Like, you weren't trying to do it, and the iframes are so big that you just, like, rolled clean through it.
Oh, I meant I wasn't trying to go into Ascension, I was trying to just keep attacking him, then I actually went
see.
into Ascension because I pushed my bumper as I was
RB, yep.
I don't know if I wasn't trying to iframe it specifically, but I was trying to roll through them.
Yeah, no, the iframes on it is so big.
Is there somebody, like, down there that we didn't kill?
Yeah, there's
a guy over there! Oh, he's, like, not on the thing. Yeah, whatever, buddy. There you go. Get fucked.
Uh-huh.
What's this? Oh, this is the key. This is the key to that door back in the other thing.
Sure is.
Okay, well, let's go back. So we're just getting, like, psychically mean-mugged this whole time.
Less psychically mean-mugged and more harassed by the lingering ghosts of pawns and arisens.
Oh, these are different people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these are people who died on Bitter Black Isle.
They are just like a big quest line in a dungeon.
Yeah.
They're all, I think the one that's like, the one on the ice island, that's the one that I liked the most, I think. I'm trying to remember what because the other one is like the whale one, which is fine, but not incredible.
Yeah, I mean we're long past the days where single player RPG DLCs are Mask of the Betrayer size. Like we will no longer ever get that.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a that's just another game.
That's the thing. Mask of the Betrayer is just another game that's actually good, hiding in a game that's maybe one of the worst RPGs.
We might play that at some point.
Fuck yeah, dude. I want to be there for Mask of the Betrayer so bad.
I tried to play Mask of the Betrayer before, and the tedium of having to manage all the high-level D&D stuff was too much for me.
Yeah, it's because it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
so I think I could do it on stream. I think that would be feasible.
If there's any difficulty options, just, like, slide those way the fuck down. Or, like, fuck, we can just mod in, like, fuck it.
Oh, yeah, we would be, if I played it on stream, I would also be modding in the stuff that's, like, auto buffer, where it's, like, cast all these spells every time you rest, because that's, like, the thing is, it's just, like, it's high-level D&D, which means start of your day, you gotta cast, like, 20 spells. Because they're gonna last all day, they're just, like, these are all the buffs you cast, like, it's just, like, God, what a... Yeah, I tried to play original Neverwinter Nights 2 a while back, again, because I never really played it originally either, and I was just like, you know, this is just a dumb dungeon crawler, right? Like, I could play this.
It's bad.
Just a thing to take up some time, and no, I could not.
It is a miserable experience.
Yeah, it's just not even good for that. It's just... Somebody died in there at some point. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh well. Yeah, no, like, I'm the person who, like, barely can sit through fucking Pillars of Eternity, and I tried to play,
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I
tried to play Neverwinter Night.
Because I do like, you know, like a lot of what got me through Pillars 1 was, I wasn't super invested in a lot of the story or the setting. I found it kind of interesting, but not. I think there are kind of issues with the way that that story functions within like the kind of the world, like the mechanics of the game and like the perspective and stuff is not. I think it doesn't lend itself to impose like kind of conveying the intensity of what the story should convey or could convey, and I just enjoyed the game because I just like that kind of mechanical stuff. I like playing isometric RPGs with pause, real time with pause stuff.
Yeah, like,
and that's what Neverwinter has to do is I couldn't deal with it. And Neverwinter has to do is it's just not fun to play. It's just
yeah, no,
bad.
it is an unfun experience. If you do, I mean, here's the thing: if we can find a way to just cheat and
Oh,
auto
there's a
win every
lever.
fight in Neverwinter Nights, it might be
I'm
worth playing
sure
Neverwinter
there's,
Nights too, just because the ending of that game is the funniest ending of any single player RPG I can think of.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that either.
It is so goddamn funny. It is unreasonable.
God, I forgot that the Neverwinter MMO still exists.
EverQuest still exists.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's successful MMOs that have been around for 20 years, and then there's, a million unsuccessful MMOs that were around for like 5 years. And Neverwinter is like, isn't it the... yeah, I think it's still getting updated, because isn't it basically, I'm trying to remember what the relationship between it and what was originally D&D Online. I'm like, isn't it basically just like an updated version? Like they just rebranded it? But maybe I'm misremembering.
I'm going to the Neverwinter page on Steam and checking update history right now because I want to know.
But I do know it's still updated. At least. What the hell is this lever?
Must be doubly sure to collect any spoils left after a fight.
I don't know what that is, Moose.
I have no idea.
I'm sorry to say. What the... Okay, so this is the door. Yeah, and the lever's on the other side, and we could see it right there. How the hell do we actually get there?
It's a good question. I want to be clear, this isn't me being sarcastic. I legitimately don't remember.
Yeah, I wasn't,
Bitter Black Isle, while it's like conceptually cool, is something. Is that lever right behind you? Oh no, that's a sword in the wall.
No, I mean,
Bitter
I
Black
can
Isle
see
is
it
like
on the map, like it has this
Yeah.
exclamation mark. I'm just trying to figure out how to get into that area where the exclamation mark is. So I tried coming around from this side. It didn't look like I could get there. So I don't know.
Bitter Black.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just saying, Bitter Black Isle is like conceptually really cool. I did it like 1 or 2 times I've played, but like every time I've come back to the game, I've gone like a few floors down and then been like, I know what this is, and I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's go down here and try this. So Mary, you were playing a Dune board game. You missed our Dune discussion earlier.
August 2019 is when the most recent module was put out for. Oh, sorry, no. January 2020, a new module was put out.
Well, a
Damn.
year ago. It's still kind of far, but
that's still more recent than I expected.
okay, so it's up. It's right up there. It's up here, and oddly, this is not anything I can climb. A mushroom demon. It looks like a gray alien. I redesigned her to be a sexy mushroom woman. Of course. Of course.
It's frankly bold of them to assume mushroom demons weren't already sexy.
Yes, it's definitely up there, so I don't know how to get up there, but that's where that is. Let's see if we can...
Also, yeah, Mary, we were talking earlier about how the Butlerian Jihad books are just dumb as hell. That's true.
Yes.
D&D and normative ideas of attractiveness plus the fucking D&D monster manual awakening things in some teens.
God, yeah, I mean, the whole, the Mages and Murder Dads discussion about the Baldur's Gate 3, early access and just talking about, like, the sexification of D&D. Like, all of these people have to be super hot in, like, they look like CW characters. It's like
of course.
Basically, it's like, yeah... though this is where I came. I needed to go up the other way. I was trying to get out of here.
Use a lift stone and then go back down.
Well, that's true. I could do that.
Because you just need to go to the gate where the void key was, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a
I
sense
should
of how
really
this
get back to
works.
listening to Mages and Murder Dads at some point, because I'm not going to fucking play Baldur's Gate 2.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good because it'll be good right now because there's not really new episodes, at least for a little bit.
Until Baldur's Gate 3 is a real game and not a real
they are
fifth of a
doing
game.
a game in between that. At some point it's coming, which is they're gonna do Disco Elysium, which is gonna be interesting.
I should also play Disco Elysium at some point.
Me too. I have to do that.
I am genuinely curious about that game and think I will like it more than any other isometric RPG because I don't have to play an isometric RPG. It's just a visual novel that pretends it's an isometric RPG.
Okay, so where did we just come from? Yeah, we need to go back that way. Where the hell am I going? I do need... Wait, what? Oh, I need to go back around the other way. Okay.
Mary, I've had Heart of the Woods on my fucking Steam wishlist for a grip now. Here's the thing. So, I do a podcast with another one of my friends that is about gacha games, and we're both hitting a point where we're like, yeah, I can't talk about gacha games anymore, even if every episode we're hitting, like, don't spend money on gacha games, your relationship with these games is inherently antagonistic, do not do this, they're evil gambling. It's hard not to feel complicit. So instead we're going to do a podcast where we talk about all of the fucking Fate visual novels. So I have to save my fucking visual novel energy for Fate.
I don't know what any of this means. Sounds good.
Fate Stay Night is... It is... I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it.
Here it is.
Fate Stay Night is a visual novel in which historic, well, I guess not technically historic, mythologic King Arthur is a woman, and also she sucks you off at one point because your cum gives her magic. This is not a joke.
You know, I don't know what I was expecting, but... Yeah.
Probably not that, huh?
No. It's not, not that.
The actual concept of Fate Stay Night is there is a... the premise is there is a conflict over what is called the Holy Grail every X amount of years that the mages in the world fight over because the person who succeeds and achieves the Holy Grail will have their deepest wish granted. The way they do this is by summoning what are called servants, which are manifestations of history and folklore and of the myths of these people. So there's like Cuchulainn, there is there's King Arthur.
Where's the thing that was, uses the key?
And so it is a visual novel about the conflict for the Holy Grail, basically.
Oh, is this one that uses the key?
Oh, yeah. Well, hold up. The original game is an Arrowjay, or Arrowgay, however the fuck you pronounce it. Like, the original game absolutely is a porn game to a degree.
I thought you were gonna tell me that this was going for the Holy Blood translation or the mistranslation of
No.
of Holy Grail, except it's now blood.
The Da Vinci Code shit. Mary was saying this is not a hentai VN, and like the other ones aren't hentai VNs, but the original Fate Stay Night absolutely is, at least in part. And like I don't say this as a means of like denigrating the game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it is also worth stating, however, that the only reason you can make the case that it's not a hentai VN is because Nasu, the writer, is maybe the worst at writing sex scenes that there has ever been professionally. Listen, my man Nasu is bad at writing sex scenes because he doesn't understand why everyone else isn't incredibly turned on at the mention of dumbass concepts like magic circuits, and I have nothing but respect for the man.
Also, Elvac, it would be nice to have a, like, because, you know, obviously people, you know, like, we made the joke about Baldur's Gate 3 with the D&D dating sims, and that gets joked about with, like, BioWare games a lot. I wish they were more like that in the way, because, like, you know, I mean, all the criticisms, obviously, of, like, BioWare romance systems, which aren't systems, they're just, like, you know, the sex coins. And God, it would be nice if any of that stuff just had a deeper model of personal relationship. What the? Oh. Wait, what? What? Oh, hi! There you are.
Yep.
Hey, buddy. I don't really want to deal with you.
That's fair. Alex says every game should be Tokimeki Memorial, and like, Alex, I agree. Is the thing? You're correct. Sebastian had died. I just sort of assumed
No, not only
all the
anybody
clones were
died.
dead fighting the Hellhound.
No.
I do appreciate you just being like, nah, I'm good.
I was
Nah.
just like, oh, here's more dogs. I'm just gonna keep rolling. Good luck.
Oh, fucking looking like a fucking Ocarina of Time speedrun.
In my upon hearing her word, it felt as if, for now, my course is unchanged. I shall, if there is aught.
And you can also request to purify the random roll gear that you got.
Yes. Striking cape.
If there is aught I can do, say it. For now, my course is
Oh, this also costs stuff. Cool. Let's just spend it all. How do you get more RC?
So the ways you get RC is you will be able to get a bunch more from delving into the dungeon. The other way is when people online would use your pawn, you would get RC, which is not an option.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the two ways are basically going into Bitter Black Isle or your pawn.
Okay. Fiendish essence. Well then. Expediting papers! Oh my god, that's really funny.
Mhm.
Shortens the time for the forger.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh, okay. Possession resistance? Possession?
Yeah, possession's
Resistance?
possession is the you know how wraiths would somehow steal your body sometimes? That's possession.
No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay. Possession is a thing that can happen. They just sort of hijack your body and make you run around.
I didn't know. I don't remember that happening.
Yep, it can happen.
Holy Enchanter, Blessed Trance, Dark Enchanter, Abyssal Trance. Okay. Uh-huh.
For now, my course is unchanged. I shall help as I am able, and pray that brings further clarity. If there is aught I can do, say it. For now, my pray.
The path ahead is long and hard.
My hope is I shall. For now, my course is up. If there is aught I can do. If there is aught,
She
pray,
bears a
take care.
melancholy air.
Ghost Hunters.
Breathe down here.
It's great. I love Ghost Adventures. Ghost Adventures is so fucking stupid.
I don't know what Ghost Adventures specifically is.
Ghost Adventures is a couple of dude bros with a couple of shitty cameras go into a house and are yelling at the ghost to throw shit at them and hurt them
Oh, okay.
and do the general
This
like
is
it is
this
it is
what
like
I
the Ghost
assumed-
Hunter shows.
Yeah, I was like,
but
this
it's
is what I
specifically
assume
like
Ghost Hunters looks like to me.
Yeah, like it is specifically like dude bro tone Ghost Hunters. They're fucking idiots. It's so funny.
Where isn't there a rift thing up here? It is. I'm just
Yeah,
it.
it's off to the right.
Also, there's apparently a port crystal here.
Oh, okay. I guess you can warp to the port crystal here. Neat.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that spot right
Can,
there.
But
You must be able to warp in and out, I guess. Makes sense, though, because that way you don't have to take the boat.
Ghost Facers.
It is getting to be about 10 o'clock, though, so I should probably bounce
Yes,
in
I'm
a little bit
gonna
here.
finish up. I think I'll just get this pawn hooked up. Who do I have? I have my... Right, I need a warrior. And to be honest, yeah, I think,
Yeah, you're super vibing with Bitter Black.
it's, I mean, I'm into, once I was kind of paying more attention and following where I'm actually going, it's better, but it does kind of feel like I might just play this off stream, and go through the stuff, because I don't know how much I'm gonna get out of it. It's just kind of, you know, more of this game, which is cool. This game has been good though. I'm glad that I finally played it.
genuinely very glad you are enjoying this game. It makes me very happy.
What is this
Or-
guy got here? Well, I don't need that,
Yes,
so...
Arisen. If you...
Yes, Arisen.
Orc. That would be funny. That's okay.
Yes, Arisen.
Yes, Arisen. Yes, Arisen. If you...
Yes, Arisen. Yes, Arisen. If you. Yes, Arisen.
So yeah, we might finally be done with this game, I guess.
Yeah, like it might be worth like coming back to it whenever you do have those 20 wake stones.
Sure.
Just to see the ending. There's like one more boss fight after that and a couple of cutscenes.
Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, like you've like if you were to continue, it's like yeah, this is what the next 4 or 5 streams would look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
Not
Arisen.
you.
If you...
There was somebody that had okay stuff. I think it was just you. Yeah, you're okay.
Yes, Arisen.
Well,
I am honored to travel with you.
we got one last this in a pond.
This pawn feels most at ease near a riftstone.
Oh, I'd figure out what to play next
Yeah.
week, and
It's heavy and somehow sad.
I guess save the game. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, and really super thanks to Sierra for walking me through this game.
Fun time with it.
I'm sure it would have been very different to not have guidance.
To not have me with the wiki up on the other end, just in case.
Yeah. Thanks for talking about it. Still don't know what the Dragon's Dogma is. I don't know.
That is not clear until you get to that final boss fight.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Also, it's also not really clear after that final boss fight.
Alright, well, we might have a wrap-up
like
stream
most of this game.
in the vague future, and I guess talk through that stuff after we see these cutscenes. The actual other ending,
Yeah. This game just feels like such an enjoyable 6 out of 10 that it makes it like an 8 out of 10 for me. I love it a lot.
I mean, it's one of those games where, you know, the limits of that kind of rating are obviously apparent, because it's like,
Right.
you know, it is the game. Yeah, it's one of those games that, like, you know, this sort of generic consumer reporter review guy would you know, label 6 out of 10, because it's like, oh, it's got all these, you know, it's unintuitive and it's janky and it's got all these technical, you know, sort of, or design obstacles, and it's like, yeah, but the game is interesting. It's, you know, where they would be like 8 out of 10 or 9, whatever, for latest, I don't even know. I don't know what big, like, fantasy... I was, like, trying to think of, like, an equivalent, like, fantasy RPG series that is, like, what's the Call of Duty of fantasy RPGs, and I have no idea. Yeah, it's yeah, it's interesting. So I'm glad to have played it and glad to experience this stuff. Yeah, Witcher 3, that's true. It's Witcher 3. So yeah, thanks everyone again for joining. You can follow the channel for notifications. Well, yeah, we'll be. You can sub the channel for emails to cats. You can join the Discord. And so next week, yeah, I don't know what I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna stream.
Mhm.
And but next regular stream, Fiona, should be Thursday, with Lars Journey. It's been a couple weeks, because Fiona's, I mean, we had holidays. I was gone for some of the holiday stuff, and then, before that, Fiona was starting a new job, so, Fiona says hopefully, maybe, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, no pressure. The rest of the schedules are on, or the rest of the streams are on the schedule on Twitch. I said the other stuff. Yeah, thank you again. Hope you guys all had fun. It is fun for us. And hope you join us again in the future. Good night.
Good night, y'all. Bye.